welcome to NGS Season 11, Division B Northeast. My name's Jazzalene, and joining me tonight is Dax. Dax, how are you doing?
I am doing well. Super excited to be back here casting with you, Jazzy. I think we had a bit of a drought here between you and I. Really busy schedules, not lining up, but just super excited to be here with you tonight.
It's been a hot minute, and I'm excited to have you back as well. So tonight we're going to be casting Durotan's Couch, taking on 2Calculated2Throw. We already have those map selections and the coin toss all sorted out. So let's head over to those the map picks now. Coin toss was won by Durotan's Couch. They've opted to go with first pick, giving map pick over to 2Calculated2Throw. Those map bans we're going to see tonight, Volskaya Foundry and Brax's Holdout, banned out by Durotan's Couch. Over on the side of 2Calculated2Throw, Garden of Terror and Towers of Doom taken out of the pool here. To kick things off, we're going to be headed to Battlefield of Eternity.
Alrighty, so both these teams sounds like the macro maps kind of leading up, like just kind of heading out of here, and we are heading to Battlefield of Eternity, which is one of my favorite maps. Very team fighty, get a lot of those brawls and scraps there in that pit. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a fun map to cast, that's for sure. A lot of team fighting happening over those Immortals. The other thing to just keep an eye on is those race potential of these teams, and keeping in mind how much team fighting is going to happen so that they don't tunnel vision too much on that race. Let's go ahead and jump into this draft now.
Alrighty, so as we head into this draft, I did a little bit of scouting on both of these teams. So this is Durotan's Couch's last match. They are holding on to that 8th seed, so that coveted 8th final position for the playoffs here. But 2Calculated2Throw has one more game after this one. So to keep their playoffs alive, they do have to take one game away here this evening. So I think a really exciting match to be casting here tonight. A couple different playoff outcomes can happen here with this one.
We have some Jazzy Dax fans in the chat. Go look, have fun,
All
Jaxie.
Right. That's it. That's the caster mantra. I love it. I see B in the chat. Luminaire, always a pleasure to see you. But yeah, Chromie gonna go ahead and taken away here. Not sure if that is a targeted ban or just a meta ban there. Same thing with the Falstad. Just kind of busted at the moment. Not really wanting to deal with Falstad as well. So kind of two meta bans here.
Yeah, a little column A, a little column B happening here. Getting rid of some of those more meta picks, but also just, fairly good pickups on this map in general. Chromie providing that good poke on the Immortal. Falstad, even though those W talents, banned out in the leagues right now, still pretty decent with the auto attack talent, and you're looking at a map like Battlefield of Eternity can pretty easily go into the late game where you get that gust upgrade, and that just is a game changer in your team fights. We're going to see Joanna getting banned out, by Durotan's Couch, and we'll have to see what 2Calculated2Throw is going to answer with for their last ban of the first ban phase.
So Sonya is the current hot in the off lane, so I know she's good on this map. Leap is just... I love it. I've been a Leap player this whole time. Now's my time to shine, but I don't get to play the off lane as much as I'd like to. But the Grey Main ban is going to come out, taking away a little bit of race from the side of Durotan's Couch.
Yeah, typically if I see Sonya's, left up, they're logged in pretty early in the draft, and you'll see like Sonya banned, then Hogger's going to be banned, neither of them banned, then they're both left up and usually picked up here. But the thing is, at this point in the season, both of these teams have fairly well scouted each other out, kind of know what heroes they're comfortable on, and if neither of these teams have a player that likes to rock a Sonya, it might not be a priority here.
All right, so opting for tasks that are not normally a mage you see on this map, depending on Q build or auto attack build, can do a decent amount of race. One of Diablo's better maps here can, charge and overpower into not only their own stuns or the team stuns, but as well as the Immortal stuns. So a very good map for Diablo.
I will say there's a lot left on the table right now that can kind of shut down a Diablo. Neither of those that I was thinking getting picked up here is thinking the Tychus and the Brightwing. Polymorph the Diablo when he comes in. Tychus just shreds down, takes off that % damage. But we're going to see the Raynor pick up and Anna. Anna, Li Ming compare nice together. You get that nano boost with Li Ming, and she can pop off pretty well. Raynor providing great burn for the Immortal. My only fear is here, this is a team that looks like they're a little bit tunnel visioning on the race for Immortal.
Very solid pickup. I think that their team fight is good. Raynor provides the wave clear. and they are good on that aspect. But if I were them, I would get rid of that Sonya. Again, we were talking about Leap Sonya. Ana is very susceptible in that backline, especially with her trait active. She moves very slow, and that's the last thing you want to see is just a Sonya just leaping into your face.
Yeah, even Raynor can be chunked down pretty fast off of Leap Sonya. You just wait till he has his self-heal used at some point, and you know you're pretty safe to jump in after that's down and shred him down quickly. Anna even more in danger of a leap there. So they are going to get rid of that Sonya there. That's taken off, and we'll have to see what 2Calculated2Throw is looking to pick up next.
All right, so still need their own particular healer here. With the Diablo, I like either the Anduin for the Light Bomb. Stukov is still up and available, can kind of help zone out those pit fights, but it's going to be the Rhaegar.
This is shaping up to look like a Bloodlust comp if I've ever seen one.
That is my favorite Rhaegar ult. I love Bloodlust comps. That was one of the more fun metas that I got to play, be a part of in NGS was the Bloodlust meta. Unfortunately, that just got swiftly nerfed after a good month or so. But Zul'jin, kind of seeing that rework about a month ago or so, did get fixed. Depending on who they want to take as a tank here, come 16s, he does a ton of % base damage.
I'm going to see Thrall and Garrosh locked in for the side of Durotan's couch here to round out the draft on the blue team. Still looking for that off-laner for the side of 2Calculated2Throw. There's things like the Hogger up still. You already know that you're going to be facing in a Thrall, so kind of have free reign here. All right. Tyrael.
So Tyrael has that strange bruiser auto attack build.
Yeah, this has got to be a Bloodlust comp.
Yeah, and that's where I was going to go with that. Is you can get the auto attacks, he'll be able to self-sustain, and then Judgment, I guess, for the Ana, since they're not able to get that Leap Sonya, or could even go Sanctification. But I think maybe the Judgment. But with the Garrosh toss and the Li Ming, I mean Sanctification can get some value here as well.
I'm kind of really liking the draft of 2Calculated2Throw here. It's something you don't typically see Bloodlust comps anymore, so it's a little bit more interesting to see coming out here. Like I'm gonna be really surprised if they don't pick Bloodlust after now taking Tyrael as well. So I'm expecting Tassadar Archon, you have the Zul'jin there that's gonna auto attack, and now Tyrael you can build an auto attack as well. I'm just looking at them to run it down here, and the fortunate thing for the side of 2Calculated2Throw, they didn't really draft that great of a disengage. I mean, you have basically Thrall, who can pop out an Earthquake or a Sunder to kind of knock them back when they do pop their Bloodlust. Well, let's go ahead and get into this. Over on the, let's start with the right-hand side. On the right-hand side, we got 2Calculated2Throw. Cawthon's going to be on Tyrael. We have Gravent playing the Rhaegar, Kobo on Tassadar, Havoc playing Diablo, and Fear on Zul'jin.
All right, and over on the left-hand side for Durotan's couch, we have Captain Wedge on Garrosh, Wildcard on Thrall, Big Egg Roll on Li Ming, Atlas on Ana, and Goliath on Raynor.
Looks like both teams just setting up for the typical four-man bot, solo in the off lane here. Doesn't seem like anyone's doing that sneaky, let's rotate up and just watch the off laner, maybe get an early gank, deny some XP up there. Havoc sitting in the bush here, just waiting for someone to step up. The rest of the members getting ready to soak this wave.
All right, absolutely taking a pick here at the offlane. So we do see Tyrael going to go ahead and start that self-regen auto-attack build. We do have Thrall going Rolling Thunder. Love to see that. Sometimes on this particular map, you do see Crash Lightning, but that's usually when you get to see a four-man Thrall.
I think it'll be a great pickup too, just to kind of help deal with Diablo when he dives in. A little bit of % damage there to kind of just shred him down and make him have to rethink his positioning. We're going to see Wedge a little bit body blocked in here, going to throw Diablo out to get himself back to safety. Do have a rotation from Raynor up into this top lane as well. Looks like Goliath going to go ahead and start up that top siege camp, get that out, and create some pressure in the top lane for Thrall to have to deal with. Thrall already pretty low on mana here. One of the problems with him, if you are a little bit too spammy with your abilities in the lane.
Yep, at least till 4 if you do opt for the Mana Tide there. I think that's what it's called.
I always
Yeah,
really
so
enjoy watching the Garrosh Diablo matchup too, because you really have to pick your engages wisely. If either of them, you know, if you engage as Diablo and Garrosh has his toss up, you're either going to get tossed right back out or maybe tossed into even worse positioning where your life is threatened. So it's just kind of like a back and forth of watching which tank has their cooldowns off and when's the appropriate time to look for those engages.
But I like this play coming out from Durotan's couch. I mean, Tyrael has semi-okay wave clear, but his camp clear is not the greatest. So they're going to force the bot camp here now as well, since the rest of the team had to rotate top to deal with that great sleep coming out from Atlas, just the poke coming out from Eggroll. But Diablo will be okay here. But great macro and great heads-up play for Goliath rotating up there on the camp.
You know, Fear too seems to be really struggling getting those Zul'jin stacks in. Part of that is he just spent a good 30 seconds on that camp down there, but the other thing is that Garrosh isn't really stepping into his range to be able to stack off of him, and neither Raynor or Li Ming or Anna either. So we're gonna see him kind of a little bit struggle in this late game or this early game to get those stacks. You see that Bruiser camp getting picked up now over on the side of 2Calculated2Throw. They finished that a little while ago, and we're just waiting till closer to Immortals for the camp to be capped. And the camp over on the side of Durotan's couch is going to be picked up as well here.
Alrighty, but the positioning for 2Calculated2Throw, they are here, they are ready. They're going to opt to try and defend in here. In comes the overpower onto Captain Wedge, does get stunned, but the unstoppable does get popped by him as well. The pinks are coming out, does toss. Tyrael there does get stunned, down at first blood, going over in favor of Durotan's couch. But we do get some of that trait value coming out from Tyrael to get the reset, or at least the cooldown reduction on that death timer.
Looks like Thrall's going to clean up that top lane, leaving the rest of his team to kind of defend and start burning the Immortal. Raynor has backed off to go do that now. Fear getting tossed in here. Li Ming trying to land some combos on there. Doesn't quite hit there. And Fear's going to be able to walk away and self-heal. We have Diablo flanking in the back line, looking for a pick onto Li Ming. Manages to land that wall stun, flips her over, and Li Ming able to just walk away off of that. Halftime now hit here. And it looks like the members of 2Calculated2Throw reaching that halftime a little bit ahead of Durotan's couch here.
Yeah, all the while they were able to defend with 4 members, just letting Raynor do his thing with Exterminator at level 1. You know, it's not necessarily the first one, but this
really
is really
close race.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now that all teams, all hands on deck, 48 health, 48 health. Oh man.
But this first Immortal will go over to the side of Durotan's couch, and it's going to be heading into that top lane here. We have Tyrael already sitting in the bottom, catching the soak down there. Thrall's meeting him. The rest of the members look like they're going to rotate top to try and get some value out of this Immortal.
Alrighty, so sometimes you do see the teams rotate. In comes the sleep and the toss out onto the Garrosh. Captain Wedge with that well-timed Undomitable there to refrain, or at least keep Diablo in position there and not have him charge back into the wall.
It doesn't look like he has his tap up either, so he's going to be sitting pretty low health here as this Immortal pushes onto the fort. But I think this is all they're going to get here. A little bit of damage onto this fort, but nothing too major, and it's just the front wall lost on the top fort.
Yeah, absolutely not a bad
Garrosh.
defense. In comes X Havoc. We do see as a Garrosh out of position a little bit, but of that great toss coming out from Wedge. We do hear the Li Ming resets go off, and that is a second kill of the game for Durotan's couch.
I love watching a Garrosh, you know, just sitting mounted up, waiting to run at the enemy to try and find the picks where he needed it, because he doesn't really have the best engage, especially when you want to save your stun for the toss follow-up to lock them down a little bit longer. The only really engage, you know, Garrosh, you're just waiting to walk up, and if anything can stop you from walking up, it's kind of a little bit of a hindrance.
Yeah, I am the worst Garrosh player. I think I'm too impatient to play Garrosh. So there's a lot of waiting, and like I said, you gotta hide. The things are coming out. They want that fountain down to kind of take advantage.
I don't know if you noticed that there, but you had the Rhaegar drop his slowing totem. So that just meant Captain Wedge couldn't walk up and toss anyone, because you just put the totem down and you're slowed now, so you're not going to be able to close that distance to get the toss you're looking for, even though the Anna sleeps went out. So Rhaegar slows, Tassadar's walls, all things that kind of stop Garrosh from getting to his team. Even a Diablo Fire Stop to dismount him is enough to kind of like deny Garrosh the toss. Look at this sleep going on onto Tassar. Throws him in. The stun doesn't quite connect, but big egg roll there, and we're going to see the Calamity come in to finish off that kill, and Tassar does go down as this Nexus Mortal phase comes
But
in.
they are going to trade. I thought X Havoc was going to have the Diablo combo there, but it is a 1-for-1 trade. Being down a level here, it was a good trade for 2Calculated2Throw as we get ready to set this up here.
Looks like both teams just going to burn it out here, waiting for their other members to respawn in. Let's see who's going to make it to the halftime first. It's pretty close race once again, but looks like the side of Durotan's couch a little bit ahead here.
But about 2,000, Tatsadar was down compared to the Thrall, so a little bit of that is what great Unboundable getting popped by. Diablo here is going to step back up, get the overpower onto Captain Wedge. Unstoppable with the cleanse coming out onto Havoc from the Rhaegar, but unfortunately Fear gets tossed into the backline there, and down goes most of the burn for 2Calculated2Throw. 10's now online for Durotan's couch, and they'll probably just try and catch back up on the soak and just defend here.
Those level 10s over on the side of Durotan's couch. We're going to see Garrosh talenting into Warlord's Challenge. Earthquake out from the Thrall. Wave of Force from Li Ming. We have a toss onto the Diablo here. He's going to go ahead and charge the Garrosh to try and reposition, but Taunt comes out and they are able to get that kill secured onto him. Nano Boost used on the Li Ming now, trying to look for a little bit more. The Immortal race has finished now. This next Immortal will be going over to the side of Durotan's couch once again. Those remaining also, we saw the Nano come out, but it's also going to be the Hyperion for Raynor over on the side of 2Calculated2Throw. What's going on with ultimates over there, Dax?
Alrighty, so a couple people still hesitant, but as we called it, or you called it there, in the draft, it is a Bloodlust comp. We do see Taz Dingo, we see the Black Hole, and Lightning Breath. So like I said, I just happened to see a streamer earlier talking about Diablo, and it looks like the Flame Breath build is back online for Diablo, so he will be able to get the slows. And there we go. Tyrael did opt for the Judgment, so we may see some pressure.
That was
in the
a nice friendly toss there. There's the Judgment onto Li Ming, but Tyrael's going to be thrown underneath towers, taunted, and he's going to fall here. Black Hole out from Tassadar, trying to help find something there, but unfortunately not going to work out. A 1-for-0 trade right now in favor of Durotan's couch. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Thrall is pushing with that Immortal, with Fear the only one down there to defend it, so they do lose their fort.
All right, and the sleep combo coming out onto X Havoc. I feel so bad for him. Currently just eating the whole brunt of Durotan's couch here.
Starting to run away a little bit with his XP
But
lead.
Fear making quick work of that. They do lose the second fort. Their second fort here. They will rotate, looks like, up onto this Bruiser camp, try and get some macro pressure here and catch up safely on some XP.
You're going to see 2Calculated2Throw start up their Bruiser camp here. This is likely just to deny any chance of Durotan's couch coming in for the invade. Level 13 is very close to being online for them here, so definitely is a possibility. The unfortunate thing is now they're not going to have that Bruiser camp up to kind of help push out their lanes during objective. You have both your forts down in these lanes. You have those periodic katas spawning in, so you have just consistent pressure starting to build in favor of Durotan's couch in these lanes that need to be dealt with during Immortal phases.
And like this sneaky play.
Look at
Trying
this.
to jump back
Look
here
at this
on to
flank.
Kobo. The toss out on to X Havoc. Out comes Tom, but out comes a Black Hole to try and help heal for X Havoc, but unfortunately it's not enough. Would you see Coffin going to go ahead and the Judgment in here onto Captain Wedge. Wild Card finds himself a little bit out of position, does hit the Earthquake. But great peels coming out from the team. We do see the Hyperion coming out as well to gain some of that space. Great sleep coming out, but Fear will be able to live and walk away.
That was Diablo's souls also taken there, so we're going to be a little bit of a squishy Diablo for the time being. We're going to see Thrall rotate up into the top lane to clear out that Bruiser camp that was capped by 2Calculated2Throw just a moment ago. And the race already starting here for Durotan's couch. Oh, Zul'jin almost getting caught there. Goliath, though, going to be flipped, tossed back out by Captain Wedge. We've had some very good friendly tosses here on this Garrosh to save his teammates. Tazingo pop here by the Zul'jin, trying to find those picks. Diablo goes in for the stun onto Garrosh. A lot of back and forth damage just being traded here. Taunt coming out from Garrosh now to catch Tyrael and the Diablo. Looking for that reset, and they do find it. Down goes Tyrael. Li Ming very close to getting another reset here off of that Diablo, but Diablo looks like he's able to walk away from this. Goliath starting to step forward, looking for Fear now, chasing him down. That Tazdingo is down, so he's going to fall, and that is a 2-for-0 in favor of Durotan's couch as they start the race once again.
Yeah, 13's online, just shy of 13's for 2Calculated2Throw. I mean, they tried their hardest. Unfortunately, with like a Bloodlust Rhaegar, you really need these team fights to be over and done with within like 5 seconds. And just Atlas did an amazing job keeping everybody up. And then, to your point, Captain Wedge with those friendly tosses to save his team from the onslaught that is 2Calculated2Throw's ultimates there.
All right, once again, another Immortal over to the side of Durotan's couch, and this one, a pretty healthy one, an almost full shield Immortal here, heading towards this top keep.
All right, so looking to make their defense here. I like the position coming out from 2Calculated2Throw. Captain Wedge doing a great job on that positioning. Will does see them maybe trying to rotate up here on the flank, but being a great ward for the team here.
Cawthon keeping an eye on the flank here still. There's Captain Wedge getting the toss onto Tyrael. Gonna go ahead and pop the, get cleanse there? And be able to walk away.
All right, so the Immortal, the shield is just about down. Fear will be able to make quick work of this. They will, sleep coming out onto Tassadar. But looks like they may lose their keep here, but this will not be a GG 16, so now is the time to fight. We do see Cawthon go ahead and get tossed in. Out comes the Earthquake as well. Tyrael finding himself a little bit low. They do burn this Immortal. They do keep their keep for the time being, but Diablo finds himself caught in the back line. Try to go in there with Tyrael. Tyrael goes down as well. 16's now online for the side of Durotan's couch.
They're gonna go ahead and finish off this keep here. Meeting Katas on every wave, pressuring the top lane. Level 16's online. Fear getting a little bit caught here. The stun from Garrosh going to land. We have Li Ming coming in for the Calamity to try and finish off the kill, but Fear is able to stay alive, getting a little bit more poke damage onto the side of Durotan's couch. Still looking to finish out his baseline quest here, currently sitting at 20 stacks.
Yeah, what is that? That's math, right? So that's 100 auto attacks, right? I think it's 5 auto attacks per 1 stack. So doing the best that he can. They need 16s because he can then at 16 ignore Garrosh's armor. So Wedge needs to be careful with his positioning here come 16. So I think that's what they'll be looking for here. And then just all that poke, like you said, to dismount that Garrosh.
It looks like for now, Durotan's couch is going to continue to soak this, create pressure in the lanes here for 2Calculated2Throw to have to deal with. We already saw them cap that top siege camp. Now eyeing the bottom one as the members of 2Calculated2Throw kind of clear out top lane and allow their bruiser camp to create some pressure up there. Still a little ways off till 16s are hit here. Trying to need to try to find those, maybe hit it and contest Immortal at the halftime.
Tyrael looking to maybe be a little bit out of position, does have the blink, is going to get tossed, does blink, but Captain Wedge is there to get that taunt. Out comes all of the damage, and there it goes. Down goes Tyrael. Will get a decent, the blink does come out from Li Ming, but does hit 2 people to reset that cooldown.
Just looking to get some trait value there. That's why he was there, right?
Yeah, like why not make it the way it was? I know it was like completely busted. Like I think if he blew up on anybody, like he was immediately right back. Like just a different version of like the Leoric cheat death. A little too OP if you're coming right back, but making quick work of this is Durotan's couch at halftime already. We do have Tyrael up now. 16's just barely around the corner for 2Calculated2Throw.
It looks like Thrall wants to try and fight them before those 16s are online. We're going to see Diablo pop that lightning breath here. Thrall stuck in the back line, and they find the pick that they need. Earthquake is down. Fear able to walk right through it. Hyperion popped as well. They want more here. Diablo's trying to find the engage. We're going to see him mount up and look for whatever he can get. It's going to be Wedge here. Stun connecting onto the Garrosh. Going to turn around and throw Diablo. Taunt coming out there onto Rhaegar, but they're not quite able to make anything work. And here's the bloodlust from the members of 2Calculated2Throw. They just have all eyes on the Immortal. They're looking to chunk this down as fast as they can while the death timer is still out on Thrall.
Already, and they will get their first Immortal here, and again, that was the kind of like the pick that they wanted, and they've been looking for all game. In comes Cawthon, does get tossed over the wall, will unfortunately lose his life there. But
more trait value.
Worth. Yeah, worth. Right? that's what they say. Get that trait value. They got the Immortal. This thing's gonna go down here in the bot lane. They have top fort, about half health from that push there a little bit earlier. So making good headway here in the late game.
Unfortunately, though, Tastar is going to have to back to clear up the top lane. There's Kata's on the core right now. So that's going to be a 3v5 with this Immortal push. We see Diablo tossed in, the taunt out as well. Diablo looking like he might fall as he gets chased down by Goliath, able to get that last hit in there to secure the kill. Immortal about half health left and quickly falling with the Raynor and Li Ming. The sleep's going to connect onto Fear. Goliath stepping up to try and get something off of it, but Fear and Greven able to walk away.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Garrosh will be allowed here in the rest of the series. It's like there's some good Garroshes, and I even mentioned I play a bad Garrosh. You don't want me on Garrosh, but
look at Wedge right now, just mounted, running straight at them, trying to find the pick. The slow totem comes out from Rhaegar to deny him that pick. It works out pretty well. It was a great play by that Rhaegar. Woo!
Oh, that was close. Man, Li Ming, and we'll take a look at Li Ming's build here. So didn't go orb build, but looks like I'm a Calamity Li Ming, I think, if I were to say so. I don't play her a whole heck of a lot, but
this is like
I like that idea.
This is like the Li Ming build before orb got really popular at 4, because you can kind of dive in, be really aggressive with your calamities, and not have to worry about your health bar, because as soon as you get that pick, you get a little bit of chunk of health back. But more frequently, you do see orb picked up on 4 these days. But I mean, this is like before orb builds, basically, what we're seeing here.
Because it's always the distance, right? You think you're good, you're running away, and then next thing you know, it catches you by the heel, and you die. And it's just like, oh man, I thought I could get out.
There's nothing like going in for a calamity kill, thinking you for sure got it in the bag, and you're not worried like, oh, my health's low, but I'm definitely gonna get this kill, and you calamity in, and like just that little bit off of finishing it, and now you're stuck in there, and you didn't get your health.
Every time the 3-man taunt coming out from Captain Wedge out. Comes the Bloodlust to regain this. The double sleep coming out from Ana as well. Havoc jumping in on backline onto Ana, trying to get her to go. Out comes the Taz Dingo trying to chunk it down, but down goes Soljin, but he did get the stacks there, and then that is a 2-for-1 trade so far in favor of Durotan's Couch. The wild card is just battling it out here with this. Diablo does lose his life here as well. The Wave of Force does come out to try and separate here, but it is a 2-for-2, and Havoc is looking for more, but Ana says, you're done. Take a nap. And Durotan's Couch backs away with 20s now in hand, looking to burn this Immortal.
You see Tassadar cleaning up that bottom lane here, getting those bruiser camps from the side of Durotan's Couch, taking off the bottom lane pressure. Meanwhile, the burn is happening slowly but surely. Halftime going to be hit here in favor of Durotan's Couch. We still have 10 seconds for Zul'jin, another 13 for the Tyrael. And about 15 and 25 on the other side.
So I think they will try and make a strong defense here to do as best as they can. But yeah, to your point, they do have 5 now up and available for 2Calculated2Throw. Raynor is up now, 9 more seconds on that Brawl, so they will be able to get some of the burn here on this one.
You have 5 seconds left until Bloodlust is up, and they can just run at them again, and Thrall won't quite be there. If they were to just pop it and do it now, they are going to kind of beat the race right now and get ahead a little bit. They could just pop Bloodlust and try to finish the Immortal if they wanted to focus it that way. We're going to see a Black Hole coming out from Tassadar on the flank, but he's kind of stuck in a little bit of awkward positioning. Taunt comes out, and Li Ming and Raynor just blow him up. It's going to be a 1-for-1, though, because the Raynor does fall here and make that a 2-for-1. And they're on the chase for more. We're going to see the root come out from Thrall onto Greven, looking for a little bit more. Fear turning around, trying to knock them back. Still has that Taz Dingo to pop if he needs to use it. It looks like he's going to be able to position well. That was Diablo's soul secured once again, so Diablo is back up, and the race is going to continue here for Durotan's Couch. They were super close to being able to get that.
Yep, this one is going to go in the bot lane. It is starting to push out in their favor. So again, out comes the taunt, though. Going to hit the APOC blink to save Cawthon. And Wedge finds himself low, does pop. The Indomitable does have the armor. The Ana healing is just doing the best they can.
Oh, that was a big sleep.
Disengage. Holy cow. These Ana sleeps. They steal the globes and the shield off of this Immortal. But they do have Windians pushing up in the top.
We see Cawthon come to clear those up now. Tassadar back up to help out. It looks like the rest of the members is going to go ahead and start burning this Immortal well out in the lane here. Another 35 seconds till Garrosh is back up to make it a 5v5. So Durotan's couch, not really much they're going to get off of this Immortal.
I keep it's Cawthon, but every time I look at it, I always want to say Cthulhu. I don't know why. But yeah, they may even be able to save their bottom keep here, which is a great defense here. Able to stabilize here a little bit, and having the man, like the person advantage with wedge down, they're not going to get down here in time. But I like to see that maybe they're not even going to have time to rotate in and invade the bruiser camp.
Yeah, they're just running, trying to find a fight before Garrosh is up. The other thing that they need to be looking at doing, too, is they need to start opening up the map and create a win condition for themselves. They need to get some of these structures down. Because at this point, they're winning some of these late-game team fights, but they're constantly having to go back and clear up their lanes, and they haven't been able to really find much value on the map for themselves.
Yeah, outside of Tassadar, yeah, like Tassadar's majority of their wave clear, and unfortunately...
look at the judgment onto Thrall here. Cawthon looking to try and collapse onto him. The rest of the members looking to help out, but now they're caught behind the fort in bottom lane. Fear's getting tossed in. The stun connects as well. Earthquake is out, and down goes the Zul'jin. Diablo looking like he might be in trouble as well with those resets online from Ming. He's going to fall. Black Hole to disengage here, so the rest of the members walk away. This leaves 3 members over on the side of 2Calculated2Throw up, and their top lane is getting pushed by Katas right now. It just might happen that Durotan's couch is going to look to end here.
Yeah, Diablo is just doing the best that he can to dive in. He does have the Rhaegar and the material, but the damage is just unfortunately not there. Tassadar does have some long-range poke, but he just he's stuck standing still and kind of left in the dust there. And same thing with Zul'jin, just wants to auto-attack, but out comes the Judgment there. The Rhaegar does go down, but trading out the health of that Thrall, but the taunt does come out as well onto Cawthon, looking to jump in this backline, but the court is at 40% and falling, and I think this might be GG's game 1 going over to the side of Durotan's couch.
A real good attempt here to try to defend that core. They did get a few picks onto Durotan's couch, but not enough to make a difference here. Game number 1 over to the side of Durotan's couch. GG's, well played.
Yeah, what a game number 1. It was in the early game. It seemed heavily in favor of Durotan's couch, but like come level 16, the late game finally online for the side of 2Calculated2Throw, and then they were able to win some of those late game team fights. But as we mentioned, kind of like the lack of the wave clear and really able to do anything with any sort of positional advantage.
I really would have preferred to see a Archon Tassadar with the Bloodlust comp if you're going to go full Bloodlust, and maybe even auto attack Diablo as well. There's not. Yeah, I think I would have liked to see auto attack Diablo because he could have just been sitting there getting so many resets when the Bloodlusts were popped. But especially the Archon, I think it just would have paired so much more with Bloodlust here.
Yeah, I think it was the Black Hole Flame Breath combo that they were maybe looking to go. I do like your point though, because like Diablo would be way more sustainable with the Bloodlust comp, because that's kind of about the same time like during the Bloodlust comp when auto attack build Diablo kind of came to light, and everyone it's maybe a little less deaths and less taxing because like I said, Rhaegar is healing, he has that Q, and that's about it. So you need those team fights to be kind of done and over with, but the tools are there, and I think we're fingers crossed we might get to a game 3 here.
We'll just have to see. Let's take a look at these talents here. Is there anything else you really want to touch on before we move on?
So just taking a peek here, I don't believe so. Just taking a look here, it's pretty standard. I know we touched base on the Diablo build there, on a build full sleeps, just Atlas and those sleeps. Like I don't think they hit anything less than a two-person sleep at any given point, unless if it was just a one targeted type thing off of the Garrosh throw. So again, maybe a Garrosh Ana ban coming into game 2 here.
There was some really nice plays from a few of the members in this game. We saw Garrosh having some beautiful friendly throws to save some of his squishies in those team fights. But even just additionally, he was able to find some of those engages that he needed, mounting up, running at the enemy team, and finding the tosses to make the plays. Anna had some amazing sleeps to kind of set up some of these kills as well. But I also just wanted to shout out the Rhaegar, because I don't know how much you were really watching him drop his totems, but he kind of like just shut down some of the Garrosh engages when Wedge was looking for them. We're going to go ahead, jump into the next lobby here. So we'll pop back on over to Dax and I as we get that set up. But I'm looking forward to this game. I think hopefully goes to a third game, because
I'm,
it's pretty entertaining to watch these teams go against each other.
Yeah, and they're really friendly with each other. Like these teams, like they're just happy to be here and play the game, and that's kind of the sportsmanship that you'd like to see. Everyone, you're competitive. You play in a competitive league, but it's all about the fun. So I don't want to spoil where we're heading, but I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, let me update it really quick, and then I'll show you guys where we're going for game number 2. I also have to update that score real quickly as well. So just give me a moment and we'll show you what's up for game 2. If you missed game 1, it was played on Battlefield of Eternity. That one a map pick by the side of 2Calculated2Throw. And it looks like going into game number 2, since 2Calculated2Throw did lose game 1, they were given the option of first pick or map pick. Looks like they're going to go with that first pick, giving map pick over to Durotan's couch. So we're heading to Tomb of the Spider Queen for game number 2 here.
Another good Garrosh map. A lot of fog of war, a lot of bushes, and a lot of zone control that Garrosh can take advantage of. So, and then just wedge outside of just sitting in a bush, but able to take advantage, knows the limits of Garrosh, able to hide in those hidden spots that aren't necessarily a bush or anything like that. We saw on that one of the final flanks there to kind of try and come around and catch that Tassadar.
Let them know that we're ready whenever they are ready to get into game number 2 here. But Tomb, I don't know, that Garrosh, I kind of agree with you right now. Maybe something that they want to look to get rid of, because it's such a small map with tight little rotations between mid and top. It's so easy for Garrosh to just kind of like hide a little bit out of vision near the turn-in point, mount it up, run at somebody that's rotating through the mid to top rotation, and get a toss and get his team to follow up and for those picks. I've seen people do it. It can be so annoying. So I'm interested to see if they're going to leave that up or how the draft's going to play out here.
Yeah, I mean, I think because that's like to your point, like the slows from Rhaegar were on point, and they had a decent amount of poke with the Zul'jin and the Tassadar, but Wedge was still able to step up and get some good tosses and secure those picks for the team.
By the way, during that cast, Zero comes in and says, "Wow, what great casting. It has me so captivated in the gameplay."
Jazzy is a fantastic caster. Absolutely one of my favorites. So if you're not following, 100% give this this lady, the young lady. I wasn't say young, and I was just like, I think we're the same age. But either way, this young lady a follow.
I'm
again,
so
one of the best
young.
casters. Yes, one of the best casters around. I can't even just say NGS anymore. You're doing big old things now. Just super excited to have everyone else kind of check out the talent beyond just NGS. So, but yeah, definitely follow. A lot of good casts and stuff coming your way here, especially this week.
Yeah, I have a fully booked week of casts this week around. I've been not too heavy on the casting right now because we were looking at houses for a while, but we decided we're going to take a break from that for a little bit. So I've booked my entire week up with casts. You can catch me tomorrow at 6 p.m., Wednesday at 8 p.m. I'm going to be casting, Thursday at 7 p.m., Friday at 6 p.m., and Saturday at 3 p.m. So literally 6 days straight of casting over here. So if you're into that, you like just having it on in the background, hanging out, chilling, giving me a lurk, make sure you hit that follow. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And so beyond NGS, the Friday stuff, I'll be back again. So that'll I get to be on the channel 2 times this week. So super excited. So it looks like we were trying to get an intermission here with a little small 1v1 going on. I don't know if we'll get that, but that'll be quite a tournament, 1v1 tournament. Just the tanks brawling it out in one lane.
We're actually having quite a few exciting people on to cast with me this week as well. So Dax is going to be back again at the end of the week, but tomorrow I'm going to have Salvaje joining me to cast a game. On Wednesday, Goon from Wild Heart's going to be joining me to cast. And on Thursday, Weenus is going to be joining me to cast as well. So it's kind of fun because I haven't been like picking up a lot of co-casters lately and just kind of like picking up casts day of and doing a solo cast thing. But it's kind of nice to have a co-caster and get a little bit of socializing happening with your casting, have someone to help fill that airtime.
Yeah, I've done one solo cast since I started casting, and you're very aware of what you're saying as you're
Hmm.
casting. You're moving the camera, and then it's like this weird third. At least for me, it was like this. Like I could hear myself what I was talking about, and I'm like, I was just like, oh man, this is awful. I feel so bad. Sometimes it's nice, like you said, you can get a little social aspect to it. But no, so it looks like these. We'll get right into this draft here.
Goon Salvaje and Venus, what a lineup. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. I also like, the nice thing about the time we're in right now is that the days are getting longer. So I can pick up a cast that's like, 5, 6 o'clock and it's usually wrapped up and there's still a little bit of daylight happening outside. I don't feel like my entire night's gone.
Mm-hmm. And that's the worst part about winter is usually like you
Yeah.
said, depending on what you work and what you do. Like you leave, it's dark out. You get off of work and it's dark out. It's just like, ugh. No wonder seasonal depression's a real thing.
For real, though. So we're going to see that ban coming in first for the side of 2Calculated2Throw, as they do have the first pick here, opting for that after losing game number 1. Durotan's Couch up 1-0 in the series here. So if they take this next match, that will be a nice clean 2-0 for them here to take the crown for this series. So this is a best of 3.
Alrighty, so there we go. We do see that Ana ban. So just beyond the sleeps, I mean, she does, if you can hit the skill shots, she does a fantastic amount of just AoE healing with that trait active, and just and we didn't talk about it, but just the anti-healing from the grenade. So just it was a bloodlust comp, but into the Ana that probably makes a little bit more sense versus because like that grenade can just completely negate an ancestral.
Absolutely. If you're a good Ana, and I have a feeling that the Ana for Durotan's Couch seemed like a good Ana to me, probably would have been holding that grenade for any ancestral healing that was coming in. We're going to see the next ban here coming out from the side of 2Calculated2Throw, and it's going to be that Li Ming. So respect bans all around here, as we saw Ana and Li Ming played by Durotan's Couch in game 1.
So Garrosh is still up on the board. Maybe we see X Havoc going to go ahead and take that away. And sans the ban, and that way they can get rid of that Li Ming and those resets.
Just a few short seconds here, and we'll see that final ban for the first ban. And it's going to be the Joanna once again. So Durotan's Couch, sticking with if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They did ban Chromie and Joanna the first game here. They did end up winning that one, so they're going to stick with their strategy here.
All right, but 2 minutes Spider Queen, generally speaking, this is the wave clear map. So, Sonya is still up on the board.
I'm surprised that I haven't just been seeing these insta-lock first pick Sonyas. Like, for sure, Sonya's got to be a better pick than a Jaina at this point, but I guess I'm not familiar with how deep everyone's hero pools are. Maybe they need a priority in some of these other pickups before the roles get too choked here. And
that is a good point.
yeah, see, this is some good picks here. Sonya, Lucio.
Yeah, and then the Garrosh is looking mighty frightening with a Lucio. Kind of the same scenario as like an Uther tank, who kind of suffers in the same light as Garrosh with the engages, but Lucio with the speed boost can be able to make quick work of those rotations, and even quicker of those engages.
Next couple picks here coming in for the side of 2Calculated2Throw. It's going to be ETC and Whitemane.
All right, very good map for Whitemane. She's a very good defensive healer. A lot of team fights happening on this smaller map. So, but I will note that it's Cawthon this time on the ETC. So maybe an offlane ETC into that Sonya, going to be able to slide her when she is spinning to win, and maybe disengage there.
Yeah, the thing is, Sonya these days, you really don't even have to rely on being able to spin to play her. It's all about the smash build, so still, I don't know. Definitely not the most meta picks coming out from the side of 2Calculated2Throw, but if these are comfort picks, that might not matter. See the Tychus ban out here for the side of Durotan's Couch. We're going to see the last ban of this game coming out from 2Calculated2Throw in just a moment here.
Alrighty, so Tychus definitely makes sense. Well, that's a good ban there, I guess. Maybe Wedge was looking at the Diablo.
Yeah.
Very, very tight. So I like that call coming out from 2Calculated2Throw.
Yeah, I think
It's
so as
still
well. You see the Tychus span, and that's usually something you see picked off if they're trying to look to pick up Diablo. Goliath gonna go ahead and lock in the Gazlo here.
ooh.
A 4-man Gazlo and an Anubarak. Oh, okay. Their draft was like, all right, I like it. I'm vibing. I like it. And then they picked the 4-man Gazlo, and I'm like, okay, we'll see, maybe. I mean, they could have some cool engages with Gravo Bomb if a noob can roll in for a nice like stun on a couple of people, follow it up with a Q and the Gravo Bomb all on top of it. It could set up well, but we'll just have to see. I'm not convinced about the. Well, actually, why don't they just throw Sonya in the 4-man? That would probably work better.
Yeah, Sonya can definitely work in the 4-man. Does have the wave clear there to be able to do that as well. I'm not sure if Eggroll plays Orphea. I would absolutely love Orphea into this comp, but we do see Blaze going to go ahead and jump. I guess it could be main tank Blaze or offlane Blaze, either which way there. Hanzo has some great wave clear, able to provide vision for the team, as well as the stun come at level 10.
All right, the last pickup for the side of Durotan's couch going to be the Kael'thas. See if there's going to be any switches here. There's some interesting comps. I'm excited to see what they do with these. We have Goon in chat. Hey, Goon. I hope you're doing well.
I'm having a hard time leaning either which way. I'm not sure if you have a preference. I like both of these styles of comps. Atlas, I believe. I'm not sure. I think it could be a high 5 game with all the stuns NCC coming out from the side of 2Calculated2Throw. But at the same time, Sound Barrier can get a lot of work done with that quick burst, the mosh pit, Jaina ring combo.
I'm curious to see if they pick up Sound Barrier. You know, high 5 is the typical go-to these days. You do have like pretty consistent stuns from ETC, Blaze to kind of argue for going it, but on the other hand, you know, there's the potential for a big wombo combo with like a Mosh, with Ring of Frost, with the Hanzo arrows. So we'll just have to kind of see here. Let's jump into this game. Game number 2 here of the best of 3 series between Durotan's couch and 2Calculated2Throw. On the right hand side, we have 2Calculated2Throw with Cawthon on ETC, Kobo playing Jaina, Grievant on the white main, Fear playing Hanzo, and on Blaze, X Havoc.
Alrighty, over here on the left-hand side for Durotan's couch, we have Captain Wedge on Anubarak, Wildcard on Sonya, Big Egg Roll on KT, Atlas on Lucio, and Goliath on Gazlo.
I'm interested to see if there's going to be a little bit of fighting over some of these globes here, because Kael'thas is talented into Globe Quest at 1, but so is ETC and Jaina. So a little bit of priority in picking those up in the rotation between mid and top potentially going to happen here. We do have that spear coming out from Sonya, doesn't quite connect onto Cawthon. Just looking to see these teams start the rotation between mid and top. We already have Blaze in that bottom lane, and this wave Pyro is going to be going over in favor of 2Calculated2Throw. Cawthon going in for the power slide, though, a little bit out of position. And now Kobo left with no tank to help peel here, but able to walk away. Whiteman keeping him alive. Look at Wedge, I'm just going to live over on the side of 2Calculated2Throw and just watch them on rotation, slow them down, make them a little bit less able to clear up their waves. Something
absolutely, but needs to be careful. Like Anubarak is a little bit squishier than Garrosh, does not have necessarily the armor that Garrosh does, but you know, can sustain a lot of the damage with the stun coming out on to Captain Wedge. Does get boop back, does have that burrow charge on his way out. Great boop coming out from Atlas to get that healing for Wedge there.
We were talking about the other day, like the role of a tank, and one of the things that is important as a tank is to kind of just, you know, be somebody that's just going to dismount them and try to disrupt those rotations. You can get ahead on the wave clear and act as that person to just like create an annoyance as they try to go clear more waves. It's really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of like because I play like generally in the middle tiers of things, and that's when you realize, like even playing with those people like you, and then even Goon, like you're not in Kansas anymore. You're not in those lower to mid tier leagues when you do see a tank slowing down rotations, and it's very annoying, especially someone like Anubarak, ETC, or Johanna. But we do see Captain Wedge is going to be able to sneak his way out of there. But yeah, to that point, that's when you can tell a good tank from maybe an average tank is able to do that safely and not lose their life doing it.
You see that bottom Siege Giant camp getting picked up by Jazzalene. Now Sonya Jazzalene just creating a ton of pressure in that bot lane for X-Havoc to have to deal with. Already taking a lot of damage from Sonya with that slam build. Still needs to be really careful. The range on slam is just ridiculous. You can see her hitting the wall, and it goes all the way back to hit the fort as well. We have Kobo rotating down to help clear up that bottom lane now. Power slide going out onto Goliath as Goliath rotates back up to join his team in the 4-man. The stun being dropped there onto ETC. Cawthon getting a little bit chunked, but able to walk away. They have left Hanzo up here to clear out that top lane. In the meantime, these teams getting pretty close to having turn on online soon.
Yep, both teams pretty even in the terms of go ahead with the spider butts there, but out comes the slide onto a Nubrek. He did use the burrow charge there, does get the boot back from the ETC, but the Atlas again with these peels doing an amazing job.
Wave is crashing in the top lane here. Gonna see Fear managing to walk up there, catch the globes that had already dropped for experience, and finish up clearing that wave. Turn-in available now for the side of Durotan's couch. Atlas kind of keeping an eye on the turn-in area. Goliath stepping forward. Cawthon looking like he might be eyeing something here. Blizzard did go out onto the wave though, so they don't really have a ton of burst damage. For Atlas getting quite low there. Gonna have to speed boost himself out of there. Meanwhile, Kobo in a little bit of trouble. The spear comes out from Sonya, but it doesn't quite connect. She's gonna be able to walk away. Captain Wedge doing a nice blind burrow roll. Wow. Burrow into the vision area. Doesn't quite find anyone here.
Yeah, so much action going on. I mean, we were just seeing just the what Sony can do in the bot lane, just really bullying out Blaze here a little bit, able to get the turn in and just, you know, almost actually Blaze X-Havoc escaping with his life here. But we do see, speaking of life, Wedge getting away yet again up here in the top lane. But yeah, just Sony is a force, able to get the turn in for the team, and looking at it here as well. But 2 gems shy, even with Sonya's turn in.
Goliath rotating now to get that turn in bottom lane. Doesn't look like anyone's going to be there to interrupt him, and this is going to be the first spider phase going over to the side of Durotan's couch.
All right, but it's not too bad. It is the first turn in here, so they should be okay on the defense here. Both teams at 7, but the slide coming out onto Goliath does get the boot to disengage there, but Sony's going to rotate up here to pressure it a little bit. Captain Wedge finds himself stuck. Unfortunately, not connected to any sort of stun here, but again, just able to sneak his little bug behind out of there.
All right, spiders are here. Jaina going to be clearing out that top lane, getting kind of low. Goliath trying to push that spider a little bit forward here, pick up those gens and the XP from the wave. Sonya already pressuring Blaze in the bottom lane as well. The remaining members looking at mid.
Alrighty, so we do see the little bit of the advantage of, I would assume, the early game comp coming out on the side here. But what a interaction there was the burrow charge and the slide coming out from the ETC, not even able to connect there. They do lose their mid wall there. The team rotates up onto Jaina here, needs to be careful, finds himself a little awfully low, looking to step up here, try to get the damage done. In comes Wedge with the burrow charge and the connection with the stun. Down goes Jaina, but Fear is here to grab these gems. And Cawthon finds himself a little low as well, has 12, will be able to sneak out of there. Gravity Lapse on to the white main, will be able to laugh her way out of there as well.
You know, right now, Durotan's couch sitting on a pretty decent sum of gems still. It's not going to take too much longer for them to have turn-in up and available once again. And 2Calculated2Throw still looking for their first turn-in. Level 10's not too far off for Durotan's couch. We are going to see another 11 gems dropped by Goliath, so they're sitting at 46 of 55 turned in. They only need 9 more gems, so 2 more picked up, and they'll have that turn-in up and available. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a back-to-back turn-in here with level 10s online for the side of Durotan's couch. Oh! Just kidding.
So, yeah, but to your point, like I said, 10's now online for the side of Durotan's couch. Captain Wedge here in the bush, trying to slow these rotations up here in the top lane. That's where most teams try and put most of their pressure in the top lane on these.
2Calculated2Throw needs to find those level 10s really quick here so that they can actually get something done with this objective. We do see 10s hit now. We're going to see Mosh from the ETC, Water Elemental from Jaina. Blaze picking up Combustion, White Mane going with Scarlet Aegis, and we're going to see the Hanzo picking up Dragon's Arrow.
Alrighty, so looking at it down here in the bot lane, just trading out a little bit, but all the action is up here in the top lane. I don't think we touched base on it, but we do see the Cocoon coming out for the Anubarak. We do have Leap on Sonya. Sound Barrier, it is a Sound Barrier game. We do see Sonya out trade Blaze there in the bot lane, but there we go. Globe Quest done for Jaina and ETC there, so we'll be able to provide some additional healing, and Jaina isn't as mana hungry.
Looking for that kill on to Goliath here. Power Slide comes out from ETC. We're going to see Sound Barrier pop by Lucio, and now a Mosh out from ETC as well. Kobo, though, in a bit of trouble, is going to get picked off, and now Cawthon looks like he's about to fall as well. The arrow comes in from Hanzo to help disengage, but at this point, 2 members down on the side of 2Calculated2Throw, and a bunch of gems also thrown out the window there for them.
All right, so we do have Scarlet Aegis coming out from the white main. I was expecting with that mosh pit maybe to see the damaging ult to provide a little bit of extra healing, but I guess with that ETC and everything else that they face, and maybe I think they were kind of holding ults because I think KT was waiting to hold ult there as well in the middle of that team fight, so able to provide some of that armor and healing for whoever decides to get Pyroblasted.
Here's the unfortunate thing too, Jaina pretty far off from getting her ice block up, so Kael'thas can pop his pyro on Jaina, on the Hanzo. There's no bunker picked up, it's combustion, so it's kind of spooky for them. Whiteman can provide some pretty decent burst healing to her team if needed, but still definitely a bit scary here. There's the grab bomb coming out, Hanzo getting stuck in the stun. Here's the leap as well from Sonya onto the backline. Cocoon going out onto White Main. They get the pick onto Hanzo. White Main left here. Cawthon just kind of waiting for her to pop out to hopefully peel her out of there. She is going to be able to survive for now. Jaina and Blaze clearing up the mid lane. That spider will fall. The remaining members still kind of pushing a little bit out top. Opting to back off now at this point and start up the boss.
Yep, so down 1 for another 5 seconds and down 13s. I don't know if they're going to be able to make a play to try and disengage or steal this. So what they're going to do is run up to get some pressure here in the mid lane with their Bruiser Camp, get that shoved down. Turn-in is pretty imminent on the side of Durotan's couch as well. So maybe just get these lanes pushed out to give themselves time to get 13s and a little bit of a stronger defense.
They're both pretty close to having turn-ins here. 42 gems of the 55 needed by 2Calculated2Throw, 48 of the 60 needed on Durotan's couch. So not anything major difference in potential for turn-ins here. That Bruiser Camp going to get cleared out. I don't like this. I would have rather them push with that boss and try to find more value with this boss, because right now it's just going to get free cleared by the members of 2Calculated2Throw. They could have just had Sonya or Gazlo go clear up that Bruiser Camp. The rest of them kind of pressure in with this boss, create a little bit of space for it to maybe get some more structure damage onto this top keep. We're going to see a fight breaking out between Blaze and Sonya down on this bottom camp. Blaze is in a bit of trouble here because there's a rotation coming out and there's no fort for him to fall back to. Wedge is going to catch him here. He's going to drop that oil down. Stun coming out from the Anubarak. Sonya comes in with the leap. There's the Hanzo air to help disengage, but down goes the Blaze. Cocoon out onto White Main now. Fear trying to knock her out of it. We have ETC on the flank trying to peel for the team as well. Looks like the rest of the members going to be able to walk away here and manage to stay alive. Level 16 is very close to being online here for Durotan's couch. They have a huge level lead right now.
Yeah, I just want to take a peek at some of these stats, and just it's Sonya with at least 3k XP soak over Blaze at the moment. But again, 6 kills to 0. I'm sorry, in favor of Durotan's couch. So really able to kind of secure those kills and get the rotational advantage here.
I will say though, I have seen teams just kind of in this situation before and just really turtle, set up these defenses pretty decently for the web weavers and manage to hold out and hold on to their gems for some late game turn-ins to turn the match around. I'll have to see if 2Calculated2Throw is able to do that. So it's going to be a little bit of a difficult defense here. Level 16's online for the side of Durotan's couch as they push in with web weavers.
Yeah, the defensive positioning isn't too bad on Tomb of the Spider Queen here because, like you said, the objective just comes to you. You can safely soak, you can turtle up in here. Down goes Havoc here, just kind of caught out of position there. But like to your point, like Captain Wedge has no problem hiding in a bush on the enemy side, providing warding and vision of the enemy team. So maybe just a strategy on their own to kind of maybe prevent some of that turtling.
A little bit Oh, here's a big grab bomb coming out. It's going to catch on to the ETC. 33 gems on ETC drop there. The chase is on for Kobo here. Sonya going to go ahead and slam with the help of Lucio to get that kill. Grievant turning around, trying to help get some heals out here. Gets caught in the Gazlo stun. So we're going to see 2 of the members down over on the side of 2Calculated2Throw. Blaze is back up now. Bottom keep looking like it might be in some trouble. Is going to end up falling here.
All right, so 2 down, 16's not quite online yet, so the death timers are pretty short, so this may not be a core call here, but potentially a second keep call. But only losing bottom, it's not the worst keep to lose, since top is the boss lane, mid is the double bruiser lane here, and then only the one camp will be able to push bottom.
There's a leap out from Sonya there onto Grievant. Blaze in there trying to just break them up, and Amosh is going to connect onto Gazlo here. Not able to get out of there, but not quite the damage yet they need. However, Gazlo is going to fall a 1-0 in favor of 2Calculated2Throw. Here's where they can start to look to clean up their lanes, pick up the gems that they need. Right now, all of the lanes pushed in, so it's going to be pretty easy for them to find those gems for turn-in with all the pressure in their favor here. Silhouette is off for the side of Durotan's couch before they themselves have a turn-in. They're going to make a play for this bottom siege camp right now. I would like to see them run at this siege camp. It's really the only thing up on the map for them to be doing right now, and they could have caught them here on equal talent tier advantage down their Gazlo for a 5v4.
Yeah, I think they're just making a play to maybe try and get some of these lanes pushed out here a little bit, knowing that they'll be able to get this turn in and not make it a defensive turn in. Like, nothing else feels worse on this particular map than, having the gems. You can turtle up a little bit and maybe finding your way to sneakily just turn in, and it just gets cleared out right in front of your walls or your keeps there. But they make the play for this particular one. But I was going to say that gank onto Gazlo, they had just hit level 15, and it put them so close to 16s, they're able to catch one wave of soak and then working their way back up here. So just in terms of just catch-up mechanics, if you're able to catch somebody out of position here, that is like post, at least level 7,
I think,
where XP and kills kind of separate themselves.
I think one thing that 2Calculated2Throw maybe needs to potentially work on is looking to create their win condition when they do get these picks. Because we saw them on Battlefield of Eternity. They would win some of these late games fights, but they weren't able to get any structures down, which means they don't really necessarily have a way to win the game if another fight goes their way later. So you saw that Gazlo pick, and instead of looking for a little bit more, maybe looking to get a structure, go contest that bottom Siege Giant camp, they just kind of cleared their waves. They are going to get a turn in here, so hopefully they can create a little bit of value off of this, kind of open up the map a bit and create some potential win conditions off the map opening up here. But it's going to be tricky. Level 20s are close to being online here for Durotan's couch.
So here we go. We mentioned it in game number 1, and we do see Coffin doing the same thing here with just denying rotations, forcing Durotan's couch to just take the BFE way all the way around here to defend this.
I wanted to see a mosh as they all rotated through that tight choke there.
All right, but Captain Wedge is stepping up to deal with this Web Weaver, and ETC is looking at the back lane. X-Havoc does go ahead and charge in, is going to get the cancel on this. Out comes the Gravel Bomb, out comes the armor from that. Mosh Pit is out, down goes Anubrak to the Unstoppable coming out onto the ETC, and down goes Blaze, down goes Jaina. Card walking away with 300 health. Coffin is looking for it, slides in. Hanzo with the kill on to the Sonya there. Coffin having that bomb, don't spread it to your friends. Gonna go ahead and wiggle their way out of there, and then that is a 2-for-2 trade, just trading out here a little bit, and what a team fight there.
Level 20 is online now for the side of Durotan's couch, and they have that Bruiser camp pushing mid to help out as well. That's keep being threatened right now. Do have Coffin and Grievant here coming to clear that up. Hanzo hanging around. He's gonna Hearth to return back to base, but this keep looks like might be saved.
It was awfully close. Sometimes those range minions are eating that little last thick boy from that camp. They just turn and whack it. They're attacking the minions. They're doing their thing, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh no, I thought I had this.
Here's the
but
thing,
turn in. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say turn in 5 gems off now for the side of Durotan's couch, so they're very close to being able to grab that. They are going to go for that bottom camp once again here. Siege Giants are up. This is something Goon has said time and time again, but these Siege Giants are so underrated. They can create so much pressure in that bottom lane, really mess up with rotations and what's going on in the map. And time again, Durotan's couch has been the only one to pick up this camp.
Yep, he calls it the bottom boss. I was able to have a good time casting with Goon there a little bit, but again, we do see Havoc clearing this out. But like you said, a lot of people just ignore it. They don't take it, or they just let it push. And if those Siege Giants left alone can get a lot done. But here we go. 20s not quite online at 4-2 calculated to throw, but this may be their last ditch effort to stay in this game here.
They don't have their Blaze here quite yet. Cawthon almost getting caught out. The power slide's going to go. Here's the Mosh from ETC. Catches Sonya, the Gazlo, and Anubarak there. Here's the grab bomb in return. On the flank is that Blaze dropping the combustion. Kobo getting quite low, turning around to drop a little bit of damage onto the Sonya and able to walk away for now. Fear also quite low. Going to get picked off by Sonya now. Havoc left in the back line to try and disengage. And right now, a 1-0 in favor of Durotan's couch. Blaze looking like he might be the next to fall as Atlas does chase him down and find the pick there.
Oh my goodness, just a great heads-up play from Captain Wedge there. He is not done yet, but just from that last team fight, learning to make sure to take care of that white main in that cocoon because that armor was able to just keep the enemy team up. Now, she was able to get out of there. They didn't secure any kills by the time she was able to pop back up and pop Scarlet Aegis, but then we do see the double kills here, and they do make the core call here. Sony finds himself a little bit low. The ice block coming out from the Jaina to save her life. Out comes the gravel bomb, is going to connect onto both Jaina and Whitemane, and I believe that will be GG's and the series going over to Durotan's couch.
There's a Mosh just to try to slow them down on the engage. Pyro comes out from the Kael'thas to get the kill onto ETC. You're going to see that death metal being popped there to keep 4 of them dancing for a while. Goliath getting quite low, but the core is falling, and game number 2 will go over to the side of Durotan's couch, taking the series and clean 2-0. GG's and well played.
GG's, and I believe, if my mouth is correctly said, that would be the playoff hopes for 2Calculated2Throw. Just unfortunately just going by the wayside. They needed one game here. They needed this one to go to game 3 to still be in the mix. But just well done. Great team fights here and just a great season all in all from both these teams.
Now let's take a look at the talents and match summary screen here really quickly. You want to talk about that? And I'm going to reach out to Durotan's couch, see if they would like to do an interview.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, Sonya was banned in game 1. We did see it able to get picked up here on a very good map for Sonya. Has a decent amount of wave clear, but the current slam bill seems to be the way to go. But again, I know we touched base a little bit. I've always been a Leap Sonya player, so it's fun to have that here now. Interesting that Gazlo went Rocket Boots here to increase the range of the stun there by 30% and the damage. So maybe a little bit of a different build with the 4-man Gazlo versus offlane Gazlo, but really curious about that. So hopefully if we can get an interview here, just ask about the idea of the Gazlo and the 4-man there, and maybe even sound barrier over High Five with the Mosh Pit and the Hanzo Arrow and just Jaina's roots and slows. So just really curious on their thoughts on their team comps and their heroes.
So we are getting into that playoff potential thing. Can you just go over again? Is this secure the spot for Durotan's couch? Are they making it into playoffs now?
Yes. So just let me check back at my notes here. I had to flip the page to write some other stuff down. So yeah, so this was the Durotan's couch's last match. They do hold the 8th seed. 2Calculated2Throw was the 9th seed. So the top 8. So and they were a 1-point difference. So
this was like the bottom end of the bracket being played out for here in this match, and Durotan's couch able to hold on to their spot here to get into the finals. So let's go ahead, jump into lobby 2 there. Wedge and Atlas are waiting in there, and we're gonna have an interview with them. Wedge was the tank player for Durotan's couch. Atlas we saw playing as the healer. So we're gonna jump in there, interview them, and wrap things up.
Let's do it.
Hello, congrats on the win tonight.
Well, thank you.
How are you guys feeling after that series? A nice clean 2-0 to get yourself a final spot?
It feels really, really nice. It feels like a lot of pressure off our shoulders after we've been trying to really pull things together and step up as we got down the stretch.
Can I just start out this interview by saying I love your team's logo? It's really good
the
one.
oldest meme that will never die.
So let's go ahead and talk about your drafts today and some of the plays we saw. I wanted to just give some shout outs. We saw some pretty nice things happening there. Garrosh, your plays on Garrosh in game number 1. You had some amazing friendly tosses to save some of your teammates from certain death there, as well as the Ana plays coming out. You had some sleeps that were so on point and just shut down the enemy team in moments where they could have ran at you and tried to gain an advantage back. So I wanted to start out by shouting out those plays in particular.
Yeah, the sleep darts were pretty exciting for me. I
I'm not
think.
gonna lie, when it was that moment where we were just burning down that, I'm not sure if it was the last immortal, the second last immortal, and I was just like, I'm gonna die, that's fine, just kill this immortal and leave, and then just, they did that, which was exactly what we wanted, and then to boot, after all that, Atlas has to go into the sleep dart into all of them to make sure that everyone else makes it out, no problem.
Dax, do you have some questions you want to throw out here?
No, just were you expecting maybe the Garrosh ban into game 2 there, Wedge? Like we commented about your positioning and just how frightening your Garrosh was in game number 1.
I wasn't particularly expecting it going to the second map, just because I think on Tomb, you more so want to prioritize like different things, like just being able to like wave clear a lot more, or being able to have like more vision and stuff. Also, I'm just like not used to having things be banned that I play. I'm used to like me not being a factor that other teams usually worry about.
That's kind of nice though. We did see target bans going into game number 2 after game 1. How good does it feel to be respect banned out in these drafts?
I think Big Angle was the one that wanted it the most, and he was the happiest about it.
Yeah.
How does it feel for you, Atlas?
I love it. I think it's great. Unless it's someone I really want to play again, then I'm like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. So going into the finals, like these comps, are this stuff that you like to run, or you have some specific comps you're looking for when you're drafting, or is it more like, let's just see what we can get and make like adjust as the draft goes on?
We very much fly by the seat of our pants. We spend more time thinking about what map we want to go to than we do for like thinking about how we want to draft once we get there.
All right. Okay.
we're lucky that we have like a fair bit of flexibility here. Like Atlas, for example, like he just says like whatever healer you want, I'm more than willing to play. I think even like Lily, like is there anything that you don't want us to put you on, Atlas?
I will play anything and everything.
Exactly.
I
Like, that
love
just makes it that much easier.
Lily.
So for teams,
I play my Lily like I play my Lucio. It's very aggressive.
so for teams looking to, scout your team and ban out Atlas, don't waste the bans on healers for him, maybe.
Just ignore me. Just ignore me.
I'm not sure. I think the Ana was at least well warranted ban. I even mentioned I don't think you hit anything less than a 2-person sleep in the entire game number 1.
Well, let's go.
She's one of my favorites. So
let's go ahead and get into some shout outs then, and I'll let you both shout out whoever you'd like to before we wrap things up here.
You want to go first, Atlas?
Sure. Well, shout out the team Die for Cat Girls for scrimming us multiple times. Good friends of ours. And shout out to the Couch for sure for picking me up halfway through the season or so. So I got to play the season. And definitely shout out to you guys for picking up the cast.
No, my pleasure. It was a great series to watch. I was happy with it. So.
I'd just like to start off by thanking Atlas for joining the team. Like him joining in really helped the Couch to start to gel for the season and get back on track, and it's just really helped to, I don't know, it's been a really calm, steady hand for when we've needed it, and I really appreciate that. I'd like to really shout out 2Calculated2Throw. They're a great group of guys. They are some of the most fun, and anytime that a Calculated Throw team is in the same div as the Couch, I'm all for it, and it just makes me that much happier. And then just shout out to the rest of the Couch in general. Like we've slowly but steadily been trying to take the season more seriously as it's been going along, and everyone's been stepping up, and I'm just really proud of everyone.
Yeah, even just in my short time, sorry to cut you off, but even in just my short time here, I've seen like an incredible improvement in just the way we function as a team. So it's been great.
All right. Well, great games tonight, guys. Congrats on the win. I hope you're able to sneak into the playoffs here. Someone in chat did say that there's another team that could pass you if they 2-0 both their series. So I know you're kind of going to be sitting around waiting to see how those series play out.
They have to root
It's
for
close
two
for all of
calculated to throw.
Divvy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it seems very, very competitive this season. So best of luck. I hope you manage to sneak your way in there, and I hope to see you in the finals. But good games, and we'll see you around.
Thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you so much.
bye-bye. Let me get Dax back up here, wrap everything up, give him a shout out here. And then we'll find someone to host over. All right, Dax, any last thoughts on this series?
No. So yeah, I do say to Only Black Cat, I didn't look at you, and they're at the bottom, but they still have 2 games left. So it will be interesting to see Durotan's Couch rooting for 2Calculated2Throw to like again just maybe get 1 victory against them to hold that playoff spot there. But other than that, no, just absolute blast casting here with you. I appreciate you asking me to be here, and that's really about it. Always a pleasure.
Well, in terms of what's going on the rest of the week for me, I did mention earlier I have a ton of casts lined up this week. So if you would like to catch me casting again, let me open up my schedule here so I can even tell you the matches really quickly. But I will be casting again tomorrow at 6 p.m. We'll be casting with Salvaje. We're going to be casting Ice Crown Citadel Queens taking on FF and the Pancakes. On Wednesday, Goon's going to be joining me to come cast Curix Tempest taking on Wildheart Omega at 8 p.m. Pacific time. On Thursday, we're going to have Weenus joining me to cast Clouded Minds taking on Fade to Black. And Dax is going to be back again on Friday for cast there at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So I hope to catch you guys again anytime this week. There's going to be lots of casts coming up. If you're not already following the channel, make sure to hit that follow button now. We're going to go ahead and look for someone to send you on over to. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the week if I don't see you.
See ya.
All right. See ya.